Welcome to my channel. Hey loves. If you're new here, buckle up, because tonight's story is 12,000 words of pure obsession, transformation, and the moment you realize the cage is made of silk and you threw away the key yourself. Grab your tea, your wine, or whatever keeps you warm, because this one goes dark, delicious places. Let's begin. My name was Liam Harper. 26. Broke. 6'1", 155 pounds of student loan debt, caffeine addiction, and cheekbones that got me stopped on the subway by modeling scouts I always laughed off. I poured oat milk lattes in a Williamsburg cafe that smelled like burnt beans and broken dreams. My studio in Ridgewood had a hole in the ceiling that dripped brown water every time it rained, and 3 days ago the landlord taped a red eviction notice to my door like a death sentence. That's when the DM slid into my inbox at 1:14 a.m. At Valentina Official, 2.1 million followers, verified, the most terrifying emerging designer on the planet wrote. Emergency replacement needed for tomorrow's lookbook shoot. Androgynous male model, 5'11", 6'2", under 165 pounds, clear skin, no visible tattoos. $8,000 cash for 1 day. Must be comfortable in women's couture. Send full body pics now. $8,000. I had $43 in my checking account and a jar of peanut butter that was more oil than nut. I sent the pictures before my brain caught up with my thumbs. Mirror selfie in gray sweatpants, one shirtless showing collarbones and ribs, one in my sister's silk robe I'd borrowed last Christmas because it made me look expensive. I even threw in the stupid one where I was wearing her thigh-high socks because I thought it proved I was comfortable. Reply came in 4 minutes flat. You're perfect. 7 a.m. tomorrow. 88, North 11th Street, Brooklyn. Door code 1947 #. Bring ID and nothing else. We provide wardrobe, hair, makeup, everything. Welcome to the shoot, Lila. They had already named me. I told myself it was just clothes. Just 1 day. Just money. I was so catastrophically wrong I still get chills remembering it. 6:47 a.m. the next morning I'm standing outside a steel door in Red Hook that looks like it belongs to a bank vault. I punch in the code. The door slides open with a hiss. Inside smells like cold concrete and $1,000 perfume. A woman with a platinum undercut and a clipboard grabs my wrist the second I step in. Liam Harper? Yeah. Shoes off. Sign this. She shoves a 22-page NDA at me. Words like perpetual worldwide likeness rights, exclusive services for minimum 365 days, liquidated damages $2 million swim in front of my sleep-deprived eyes. I sign every single page because $8,000 is $8,000 and I'm an idiot. She marches me past endless racks of gowns that probably cost more than houses. Into a white room with a single vanity lit like a surgical theater. And then I meet her in person for the first time. Valentina Rossi is tiny, maybe 5'3" in her combat boots, but the second she walks in the air pressure in the room changes. Jet black razor-sharp bob, lips painted arterial red, eyes the pale gray of winter oceans. She circles me once, twice, nails trailing across my shoulders like she's testing fruit. Strip, she says, voice low and bored. The room is full of assistants pretending not to stare. I hesitate half a second. Everything but underwear. Now, Lila. I peel off hoodie, jeans, socks. Stand there shivering in black boxer briefs and goosebumps. Valentina smiles like a cat who just spotted a bird with a broken wing. Perfect bones. We begin. They don't ask permission after that. They just do. 2 women yank my boxer briefs down before I can react and replace them with seamless nude dance panties and a gaff so tight I wheeze. A long-line ivory satin corset follows, steel-boned, merciless, laced until my waist shrinks 4 full inches and my ribs scream for mercy. Silk stockings rolled slowly up legs they somehow shaved while I was still blinking. Garters snapped into place with little metallic clicks that sound like handcuffs. 4-inch ivory patent heels locked around my ankles with tiny gold padlocks. Actual padlocks. The keys hang on a thin gold chain nestled between Valentina's collarbones. The dress is 1930s bias-cut silk the color of moonlight on water. It slides over my head and clings to hips I didn't have 20 minutes ago. The neckline plunges so low I feel cold air on my sternum. They sit me down hard in the makeup chair. A woman with an airbrush attacks my face like she's sculpting marble. Contouring that carves cheekbones sharp enough to cut glass. Brows threaded into perfect arches. False lashes so heavy I can barely blink. Lipstick the color of fresh blood blotted, reapplied, blotted again. A platinum pin-curled wig fitted so tight it feels welded to my skull. When they finally spin the chair toward the mirror I can't breathe, partly the corset, mostly the reflection. The girl staring back is devastating. Old Hollywood tragic. Like Greta Garbo and Tilda Swinton had a baby raised on secrets and champagne. Valentina leans over my shoulder, meets my eyes in the glass. "Say hello to Lila Valentine," she whispers, breath warm against my ear. "She is the new face of my couture empire. And you just sold her your soul for the next 365 days minimum." My mouth opens. Nothing comes out. She holds up my phone. When did she even take it? And scrolls to paragraph 17C of the contract I blindly signed. Exclusive modeling services. 1 year minimum. Renewable annually at my sole discretion. You are now legally property of Valentina Atelier. Congratulations, darling. I lunge out of the chair toward the door. It's locked from the outside. Valentina laughs, soft, delighted, vicious. "Relax, Lila. You'll be paid $15,000 a month plus penthouse, driver, wardrobe allowance, the works. You just don't get to wear men's clothing again until I release you. Or leave the country without my permission. Or speak to anyone I don't approve. Or..." She taps the little gold keys resting against her skin. "Remove those heels without me." I finally find my voice. "This is kidnapping." "No," she says sweetly, "this is fashion." Day 3 they move me into the loft above the studio. One massive room, floor-to-ceiling windows facing the East River, no blinds, no privacy. Everything white or chrome or blush pink. A single bed draped in satin the color of flushed skin. A closet the size of an airplane hangar stuffed with nothing but women's couture gowns, lingerie, furs, latex catsuits, ball gowns heavy enough to sink ships. Red camera dots blink in every corner, 24/7. I try to leave once. Barefoot, wrapped in a silk robe, I make it to the elevator before 2 silent security guards materialize and carry me back upstairs like I'm a misbehaving doll. Valentina is waiting on the white sofa, legs crossed, sipping espresso from a gold-rimmed cup. "Bad girls don't get flats, Lila." She nods to the guards. They pin my arms while she locks a new pair of 6-inch clear acrylic stilettos on my feet. Then she clips a delicate gold chain between the ankle straps, 18 inches long. Hobble length. I don't walk for the rest of the day. I mince. Week 2 I learn the rules by heart. Heels at all times, even to shower, special drainage pair provided. Full glam by 6 a.m. daily or Valentina does it herself with semi-permanent pigments when she's annoyed. No men's underwear ever again. Only thongs, gaffs, corsets, shapewear. Voice training 3 hours a day with Madame Elise until I sound like a 1940s starlet even when I scream. 1,200 calories tracked by an app. Go over and the heels get higher. All social media run by Valentina's team. My old account's frozen. Liam Harper is now on sabbatical. The first campaign drops 3 weeks in. Giant billboards in Times Square. Full-page ads in Vogue. Instagram explodes overnight. Lila Valentine, Eternal Feminine, Valentina Atelier. The comments are feral. Goddess incarnate. I would sell my kidney to look like her. Is she trans? Cis? Alien? Who cares, she's perfect. Marry me, Lila, please. My mom calls crying because she thinks I've transitioned and didn't tell her. I can't answer, my phone is gone. I'm a ghost wearing my own face. Month 1 they fly us private to Paris for Fashion Week. I'm not allowed pants even on the plane. Cream cashmere skirt suit, seamed stockings, 5-inch patent heels, the gold hobble chain hidden under the skirt so I have to take tiny geisha steps through private terminals while billionaires stare. Backstage is chaos. Rails of gowns, girls vomiting into buckets, cocaine dust on every surface. Valentina parades me like a trophy. "This is Lila," she tells Anna Winter, hand possessive on my cinched waist. "My masterpiece." Anna peers over her bob sunglasses. "Exquisite bone structure. Who is she?" "Mine," Valentina says simply. That night I'm booked for the after-party at Castel. I beg to change into something less formal. Valentina dresses me in a black latex mini so tight I can't sit, 9-inch platform boots that make me 6'10", and a diamond collar locked around my throat with a gleaming letter V. At 3 a.m. on the balcony, a French DJ corners me, drunk handsy. "You are the most beautiful woman I've ever seen," he slurs, sliding a palm up my thigh under the latex. I knee him in the balls so hard he drops to the marble like a sack of designer bricks. Security drags me inside before I can bolt for the street. Valentina is waiting in the VIP booth, eyes glittering darker than the diamonds at my throat. "You just assaulted a very expensive DJ, darling." She shortens the ankle chain to 6 inches and adds matching wrist cuffs connected by another delicate chain. I cry in the limo the whole way back to the hotel, mascara running black rivers down my cheeks, the city lights blurring into watercolor. Month 4 I stop fighting. The click of my heels becomes my heartbeat. I perfect the sway of hips I trained into existence with corsets and starvation. My waist is now 23 inches permanent. My legs are endless. I can sprint a catwalk in 7-inch pleasers without a single wobble. Valentina starts letting me choose my own gowns for shoots. She calls me her good girl, and the words land warm and liquid low in my stomach. The money piles up untouched, $180,000 and counting, in an account I can't touch without her thumbprint. I dream in silk and submission. Month 6 Milan, the night everything almost ends and begins again. After the couture show, Valentina takes me to a private terrace dinner overlooking the Duomo. Candlelight flickers across white truffles and a bottle of 1982 Chateau Margaux that costs more than my old yearly salary. She's gentle tonight. Almost human. She pours me wine with her own hand, something she's never done. "You could stay forever, you know," she says quietly, voice barely louder than the breeze. "Not as a prisoner. As my muse. My partner. The world already belongs to Lila. Liam is dead, baby. Let him stay dead." I stare at the candle flame dancing between us. "I miss my mom," I whisper. It's the first honest thing I've said in months. Valentina reaches across the table and unlocks everything. The diamond collar, the wrist cuffs, the cruel little ankle chain. She places the tiny gold keys in my palm. "Walk away right now," she says, voice soft but steel underneath. "I'll put you on my jet tonight. By morning you'll be Liam again. Broke, forgotten Liam in Queens with eviction notices and burnt coffee smells. Or..." She leans in, lips brushing the shell of my ear, breath warm with wine and danger. "Stay. Be Lila forever. Be mine. I'll give you half the company. We'll rule fashion together. You'll never want for anything again." The keys are ice against my skin. Below us Milan glitters like spilled diamonds. I look down at my manicured crimson nails, the couture gown hugging curves I earned with hunger and discipline and surrender. I think of my old life, the drip in the ceiling, the eviction notice flapping like a white flag, the smell of burnt milk and desperation. I close my fist around the keys. And I let them fall. They disappear into the night without a sound. Valentina smiles like she just conquered a continent. She kisses me in front of the entire restaurant. Cameras flash like lightning. The next morning every fashion outlet on earth screams the same headline. Valentina Rossi and Lila Valentine, the new power couple of couture. 1 year later, epilogue. Liam Harper is legally dead, staged car accident in Thailand, body never recovered. Valentina paid for the paperwork, the closed casket funeral my mom still cries over when she thinks no one's watching. Lila Valentine is 27, 6'1" in heels, co-owner of a billion-dollar brand, engaged to the most feared designer alive. Sometimes at 4 a.m. in our Paris penthouse, I stand on the balcony in nothing but diamonds and a silk robe open to the night. The city lights spread beneath me like a kingdom I helped steal, and I try to remember what boxer shorts felt like. What sneakers felt like. What being invisible felt like. I can't. And the terrifying, exhilarating, irreversible truth? I don't want to. I agreed to model for one day. Now I'm stuck in dresses. And I've never been freer. Outro music swells. So tell me in the comments right now, would you have kept the keys? Or would you have thrown them away? Drop your answer below, smash like if this story possessed you the way it possessed me, subscribe and hit the bell because part 2, She Owns the Runway, and She Owns Me drops next week. Stay gorgeous, darlings. I'll see you in the mirror. Kiss mark.